Can you see me now? There we go. So, let me get my measuring cup. So we shall start. Okay, in this cooled off container I have the Louisiana Pure Coconut Oil. I'm going to set that aside since I've already done it. Now the thing you should know about coconut oil is any kind of flavoring that you're going to give it, you need to give it while it's in this state, because the flavorings are actually heavier than the coconut oil. I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of almond extract. In my pan. Let me get that off the heat. I'm not quite ready for it yet. And 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and my coconut oil. Also in my pan is going to be 2 tablespoons of coconut milk. 1, 2, and I'm going to put my 4 packets of sweet leaf in there. Why am I putting the sweet leaf in the liquid? I'm wanting it to become non-gritty. I'm wanting it to fully incorporate the sweetness throughout the chocolate that I'm making. And sometimes if you don't do this, you get that gritty, poppy taste, almost like a icky Rice Krispie bar. And we don't want that. Let me make sure I got all of the sweet leaf out of here. These packets tend to be stingy when they want to give out the product over heat. Like this packet, it's being real stingy. I'll open the other end. See, just when you think you have it all, it's hiding. Now, I'm making these for my father, and he tends to have quite the sweet tooth. So I'm actually going to add 2 dropperfuls of the liquid stevia. So I got 4 sweet leaves and 2 droppers of liquid stevia. I'm going to mix that up well. And see, this is what the finished product looks like. Coconut flavored liquid stevia. So, I'm going to turn this off because I no longer need the heat. I'm going to pull this over. And I'm going to pour this in. So we now have our coconut flavored liquid stevia mixed in with our coconut oil and our vanilla, which you saw me put in there earlier. I'm going to mix this until it's well incorporated, because there's nothing worse than having lopsided flavors. That looks good. Now here comes the fun part. The chocolate. I'm just using regular Hershey's cocoa. You could use a dark chocolate. You could use organic chocolate. This just happens to be what I have on hand, and it needs to be used. I think next time I'm going to buy a dark chocolate. Now I'm making a double batch. In my bowl, I've actually got 2 cups of the coconut oil. So I'm going to want to have 2 cups of the cocoa. But here's the secret. Cocoa has little cocoa nibs in it. Cocoa nibs can be pretty darn nasty and bitter. I am going to sift my cocoa in, mix it 1 cup at a time. Or you can do the pat your hand, but you can't see what I'm doing on that side, so here we go. See those cocoa nibs or cocoa pellets? Those would be nasty if you were to take a bite of that. You don't want to take a bite of that. But this nice fine powder, that's what you want. Well, what do you do when you get down and all you have are nibs? You make powder. Anything that's too hard, just throw it out. So I'm going to gently stir this. Till it's well incorporated. Now it's time for cup number 2. Mommy hears you, meow meow kitty. Your food's over in your bowl. Mommy's busy. That's Shadow, my cat. Oh, and anytime I mention Shadow the cat, here comes Bunny Doggy. Doggies can't eat chocolate. It's bad for them. Sorry, Bunny. Okay, there's cup number 2. Again, putting it in the sifter because we don't want any of those bumps in there. This is going to produce a really rich chocolate flavor. Whoa, there's some big ones in there. Let's press that down a little bit more. There we go. And now I'm going to mix this. You want to mix it until it's well incorporated. No lumps, no powder. And it's going to be liquidy. That's okay. It's going to set up in the refrigerator. It can be liquidy. Get the sides really good. Don't want any hiding cocoa. And here's the secret. You know how we flavored while we were cooking? Well, heat sometimes takes things out. So we're going to put one more dropper of stevia. And this is what it should look like. Okay, so we're going to set that aside. And I'm going to pour my pans. You see I have little mini cups in there. I only want to pour these halfway because I'm going to put delicious coconut filling inside of them. And you've got to leave room for the filling because then you're going to come back and you're going to put some more goodies on top. If it goes a little over halfway, don't worry about it. You're just going to have original homemade chocolates, and they don't have to be perfect. Doesn't matter if you drizzle a little bit on the pan, because this is liquid, it's hard to control. If it's a little thicker, I'd put it in a pastry bag and cut off the tip and pipe it in, but it's not thicker. And so you just have a bigger mess if you were trying to do that. So it's best just to keep it in a pour spout bowl. And if you find you overfill one just a little too much, it's okay. You can take a spoon, take it out. Okay. Now these are going to go in the refrigerator. Ta-da! So they can get hardened for the first layer. While those are chilling out, as you see I have enough here for more, which was the whole point, we're going to make the filling. I'm going to use the same pan because waste not, want not. Okay, for the filling, I went and rinsed off my measuring spoons. We're going to need 2 tablespoons of coconut yogurt. This is dairy free. You can already tell it's going to make a nice creamy filling. I'm going to turn the stove on to about 4. Now this coconut milk, make sure you buy the unsweetened everything, guys. You don't want any flavors in here. 2 of the coconut milk. You might ask, why are you putting coconut milk in there? And coconut yogurt. Because coconut gets really thirsty. That's why I put coconut milk and coconut yogurt. Because when I add the coconut, it's going to soak it all up. Before I do that, I want it to be real coconutty, so I'm going to put in a capful of coconut extract. capful vanilla extract. And 4 sweet leaf packets. And 2 droppers of liquid stevia. And a temperature sensitive spatula. And I'm cooking this over medium heat. I'm wanting it to form into a cream. And you really need to work in that powdered stevia or sweet leaf. Just kind of use the back of your spoon to incorporate it so you don't have any clumps. It should have the consistency of sweetened condensed milk. Let's taste. Oh my, that's sweet. Sweet in a candy kind of way. Okay, now for the piece de la resistance. Coconut. Now these are not real big giant candies, so you're not going to need a whole bunch of coconut. This coconut's going to last you a long time. I would say use about 1/4 cup. This is from coconut from Sprouts, which is a organic market. Okay, I put 1/4 cup. Now let's see how well it absorbs. This coconut was so fresh, I'm going to have to use a little bit more, and it's okay. But instead of a whole 1/4, I'm going to use 1/2 of a 1/4, which is, oh, let's go ahead and use another 1/4. This is really fresh coconut. Okay, so we've used a 1/2 cup of coconut total. Yeah, that's the consistency I'm wanting. Like a Mounds bar. You want to see the consistency? Mmm. Yum. Now for the taste test. That is so delicious. Okay, set that aside and let it cool off. Now, I'm going to pause the video and wait for our chocolates to cool off. Then I'm going to come back and fill them. And then I'll show you the finished product.